I always say on this show, 2 or 3 minutes can change your life.
Simon Cowell's looks have changed so drastically over the years, but recently everyone was shocked when photos of Simon came out because he looks like a completely different person. There are some bizarre reasons that might explain what happened to Simon's face, and you're never going to believe what they are. When Simon first rose to fame in the US in 2002, he'd already been well known in the UK for a long time. He became pretty famous for his serious scowl. But in the last decade, Simon's scowl has become overshadowed by the rest of his facial features in an outrageous way. Earlier this year, Simon opened up about why his looks had been changing so radically. Simon revealed to The Sun that it seemed like everyone else on TV had started using different kinds of fillers. I guess Simon really wanted to keep up with his peers because his appearance soon made a crazy shift. Simon admitted that in 2016, he'd started getting Botox to look a little younger. At that time, he was 55 years old and was at a stressful, busy time in his career. I can't believe that around the same time, Simon was a judge on American Idol, America's Got Talent, and Britain's Got Talent. But it seems like Simon must have taken the Botox a little too far, because his face had started to look pretty unusual. Just in the last few years, Simon's looks have changed to the extreme. He'd seemingly gotten so many fillers that Britain's Got Talent viewers were shocked by his appearance. Simon's eyebrows looked like they were drooping, and his eyes were incredibly sunken inwards. His face was just starting to look more unreal than ever. And I think that because so many people were talking about Simon's strange facial changes, he felt the need to address the issue himself. Recently, Simon finally talked about all the work he's had done, and I can't believe everything he revealed. According to The Sun, Simon knew that he'd gone too far with the fillers. He admitted that he could barely recognize a photo of himself when he was using them the most. I can't imagine how surreal that must have felt. But injectables actually haven't been the only way Simon has tweaked his appearances in the last several years. You'll never guess what else he's tried. Simon has also opened up about a couple of other cosmetic procedures he's had done. In 2018, he had a non-surgical facelift that honestly sounds super intense. It's where bioplastic threads are sewn into the skin on the patient's face. I don't know about you, but that sounds insanely painful to me. But Simon has changed something else that's made a big difference as well. Simon admitted to having his teeth done, which explains why they were blindingly white for a while. The veneers were very noticeable on TV, which ended up being another aspect of Simon's face that viewers were curious about. But even though Simon came clean about the work he had done, I don't think everyone believed that he hadn't had any other procedures. A professional weighed in with their opinion, and it's seriously bizarre. Dr. Cowells from the Natural Look Institute spoke to Express about his opinion on Simon's procedure history. He believes that Simon might have also had his eyelids surgically changed, since the difference over time has been so drastic. I feel like Simon was pretty open about everything else, but Dr. Shahar's opinion also makes a lot of sense. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Simon has had some other type of plastic surgery, but I was seriously floored by what actually made Simon realize that he needed to lay off the Botox and injectables. Simon claimed that Eric was in hysterics about how the fillers were starting to make his dad look, and believe it or not, Simon started to see it too. Surprisingly, Simon told The Sun that he'd looked like something out of a horror movie. I guess that's one way to put it, but either way, Simon decided to swear off fillers and Botox for good. And just in April of this year, he made a public appearance that highlighted another unbelievable change. At the Kids' Choice Awards, Simon was looking different than usual, but this time his face appeared to be more natural and full compared to how sunken and strange it was in the previous years. I couldn't believe how much more relaxed his face seemed to be, and there was an outrageous reason for that. Crazily enough, Simon revealed that he was completely filler-free. I think it's safe to say that almost everyone felt like that was the long-awaited ending to Simon's use of fillers.